Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Grandstream. Today's host is Phil Bowers, Senior Marketing Manager. He'll be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to submit them in the question box, and Phil will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Phil, I'm finished for now. Can you go ahead and get started? The floor is yours.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, everybody, for being with us here this afternoon, I guess where I am, this morning out on the Pacific, out on the West Coast. Hope everybody is having a good summer. So yeah, today we're going to mainly talk about our GDS 3710. It's a really exciting new product that we came out with a couple of months ago. It's our first ever IP video door station. It's actually a product that we've had in development here for probably a couple of years. And, you know, we're really excited about the product that we came out with. Over the course of the next couple of months, we're actually going to release a couple of different models. Like, for example, what the device you see here is a video door station. We're probably also going to come out with an audio door station in the next couple of months. But the exciting thing about this product is the integration that it offers with all of our solutions. It's really one of the only IP video door stations out on the market that is specifically designed to actually work with a lot of the other solutions, IP phones, for example, that a business already has in order to actually expand the functionality of this device. So I'll be covering that a little bit more as we go. But I believe I have about 22 slides here, so I should be able to get through this a little bit faster than previous webinars. It's going to start with a quick overview of the GDS 3710 and tell you what it is, what it does, some of its specs. And then we'll go into actual deployment scenarios. And in that section, we will cover the integration of our products, of our other solutions with this device and what that allows you to do, and go into a couple of different common deployment scenarios that we see. And as Julie mentioned, we'll do a question and answer at the end. So the GDS 3710 is, as I mentioned, it is a IP video door system. On its own, this device gives you the ability to track, manage, and record access to any facility, any physical building, any door, etc. And as I mentioned earlier, and as we'll talk about as we go, when you team this device up with our solutions, it actually allows you to really expand the functionality of all of them and create a very proactive, ongoing security and facility access solution. The device, as you see here, gives you hemispheric video coverage, 180-degree wall-to-wall coverage with the lens built into it. Essentially it serves as a high-definition IP camera and an IP intercom, as well as facility access control and security monitoring. We'll talk a little bit more about the intercom functionality of it later, giving you basically the ability to make and receive SIP calls from this device to audio or audio and video devices to create a very seamless and easy to install and very easy to use intercom with any door app or entrance to any facility. So kind of going in on some of the technical aspects of it. It does have, as you see there, we talked about the camera. It's got built-in capacitive touch keys, so it's the same kind of touch screen that you're going to get on pretty much any smartphone or tablet device nowadays. A built-in microphone, HD loudspeaker, gives you full duplex audio with the acoustic echo cancellation, background noise suppression, does support PoE, also obviously supports an electrical connection as well. The device gives you alarm inputs and alarm outputs, and the great thing there is that it actually allows you to integrate with existing security devices that you may already have, with motion sensors, with other door openers, anything that you could facilitate, connect to the device through those alarm inputs or outputs. Intercoms, for example, sirens, so that, for example, when an alarm on the GDS goes off, it could sound a siren connected to it, or if a motion sensor connected to the device goes off, it could also register an alarm through the GDS, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, from just looking at the device, the the ways that it gives you to monitor, to facilitate entrance to any facility can be done a couple of different ways. One thing it doesn't say here, which I want to see if it's on the next screen. No, we'll come back to it. But the device does support RFID. We actually ship RFID card and chip with it, and you can buy additional ones from us as well. So you can allow entry through this device through RFID cards or through RFID fobs. You can do PIN codes. You see the little alarm button down there. You can just have users type in an alarm, which would automatically trigger a SIP call to a phone or another device that could let the person in. Those are the most common ways to actually control. And obviously, you also have that ongoing camera, which allows you to put a security camera at any door. In terms of installation environment specifications, the device is on the bottom bullet point there. It's been tested and certified for use in anything from it's negative 30 degrees Celsius all the way up to 60 degrees Celsius. I know we're in the US here, so that's negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That pretty much covers every temperature and every climate that you can find, most places in the world specifically, but also here in the United States. The device is built with weatherproof casing, so it can be used outdoors. And regardless of weather condition, it is also vandal resistant. As you see there, certified IK09 vandal resistant. In the box, it comes like basically as a flush, or not a flush mount, but it comes with a kit to mount it within a wall. If you want a flush mount, which is what you see here on the device on the left-hand side, we actually do sell that accessory separately with the device. We talked about the view earlier. Here's just kind of a nice little picture to give you an example of it. Again, 180-degree view from the lens of this camera. Basically can look directly left and directly right and give you anything in between. It's a SIP device, so it'll support H.264 video codec and any other SIP video device that you might want to connect to it. Gives you a variety of different concurrent video streams. 3+1, which I believe, the easier way to say that, basically gives you 4 consecutive video streams. The example there is it can feed one to an NVR, can feed another to a video phone, an IP phone, or a mobile app, and it can feed another one to, still image capturing is what it gives you there, an FTP site, something like that. Yeah, so it's pretty much there. See a picture of the, there are 2 different modes. Hemispheric is the one on the left. This is the one that we're always going to recommend. This is actually a great picture because you can see directly down, all the way to a hallway on the left and all the way to a hallway directly on the right. The lens distortion correction is also an option. It gives you the ability to zoom in and concentrate more specifically on one location directly, or the location in front of the camera. Hemispheric is always going to be the best one for you. There we go. So in addition, with the device, we offer what we call GDS management. This is free software, again, free software that you can go download from our website under the tools section under support. And basically what this does is it gives you an entire management portal and tracking portal for your GDSs. You can integrate multiple different GDS 3710s to be managed by one centralized GDS management tool. We also, in addition to this software that we have here, we are also compliant, or the device is compliant with any ONVIF certified recording device or recording software. But we make this device, or make this GDS management software and provide it for free for use with the device. Basically, really good way to describe it is it basically gives you an office management platform. It allows you to track and manage RFID card access or PIN access. So basically, it allows you to completely control and track and manage access for every GDS. It gives you a central location that basically gives you a report on what goes on with each GDS, gives you the ability to manage it, gives you a central portal to view live feeds as well. yeah, so it's great little free software that we offer. You know, the best use of it, in my opinion, is if you have multiple different buildings or multiple different devices, you can all manage them one centrally here. Obviously, if you're only using one, it gives you all the same ability to do that, track, manage, and you know, basically fully manage your entry and exit access to any physical building. We talked about the intercom a little bit later on. This will probably become a little bit more clear as I go through the next couple of slides, where we're going to talk more about the integration with our products. But I did mention this earlier. It has a microphone built into it. We say it has a 1.5 meter range, although we've frankly tested it to be probably about 3 times that, and you can still hear anything. It's got a built-in HD loudspeaker as well, and as I mentioned, it's a SIP device. So you register it as an extension on any SIP network, and you can pick up any phone, voice, or video on the network and call it simply as an extension, and you would actually then see the live video feed if it's a video device, or obviously you could have a two-way audio conversation through the device with somebody that might be there. Obviously the GDS also, and this is the most common use of it, can be triggered to make voice or video calls out to other endpoints on the network, or even to, you know, other phone numbers off the network. To allow basically you to, you know, find out when somebody's there, to talk to them, and then to potentially let them in on directly from your IP phone, which we'll talk about. We also talked about the alarm in, the alarm out support. I pretty much gave you those examples: door sensors, electric locks, light switches, sirens, motion sensors, etc., that you may already have, or that you might want to expand, you know, the functionality of this device. You can integrate those devices through the alarm and the alarm out ports. I actually covered this earlier. I forgot there was a slide for it in terms of the ways that you can, you know, get access to a building or allow someone to access a building or any door or any area with this device. I mentioned the RFID cards or fobs. You can do custom numeric PIN codes. You could do guest codes with time settings so that, you know, it's only available, or will only actually trigger a call to let somebody in during business hours, for example. You can even do dual authentication. For example, RFID card followed by code combination. Lots of flexibility there. In terms of controlled access, this is more for visitors. You can have it set so they can ring a doorbell. You can ask them to dial an extension, which would make a call right to that extension, and then allow the device receiving the call to have the intercom conversation and potentially press a button right on the phone to let them in. Can also be set for automatic motion detection. So as soon as somebody shows up, the device picks it up and automatically triggers a call out to whatever you set it to make a call to. All right, so that is, so as I said earlier, the GDS 3710 on its own, and that's what we just talked about, can track, manage, and record access to any facility. What makes it, in our opinion, even much more powerful is its ability to integrate and work as a full solution with all of our IP phones, whether they be voice phones, video phones, or deck phones. We have optimized, and this is, you know, the benefit of a company like us at Grandstream being one of the few manufacturers that makes a wide variety of SIP devices, is that, you know, and one of the things we did during development was basically optimize all of our products to work directly with this. So now, not only are your IP phones or your deck phones or your soft phone apps just something that could receive calls, you know, potentially get online or use Bluetooth with some of them, but it's also now it is now a proactive part of your security or your facility access solution. So all of our IP phones can be, and not even can be said, it's built into the couple of the most recent firmware versions, where if it's a voice phone, it can make and receive calls, and actually there'll be a soft button or a button on the phone itself that would actually allow you to tell the GDS to open the door and let the person in. If it's a video phone, you'll see full video and audio, and you will also be able to press a button to let somebody in. That's really the big thing, if you ask me. The ability to have that intercom conversation, but then also right from any of our IP phones to actually press a button to open the GDS or to let the person in right from that location. What else? So yeah, obviously the most powerful integration will be with our Android IP video phones, the 3275 and the 3240. Because they are video, it gives you full video, full audio, the ability to open closed doors, to see live video feeds. With our 2100 series, though they are not video phones, we have actually optimized them to be able to receive what we call video. I guess you would call them video snapshots. It's basically a video that will refresh every 1 to 2 seconds. So it's not they're not video phones basically. So it took a little bit of extra integration and setup for us to be able to optimize this. So basically with the 2100 series, you're also going to get the visual component of it. You can actually see what the the GDS sees, and you can have that conversation through our IP phones and then press a button right on the phone to let them in. With the 1600 series, the 1700 series, and our deck phone series, you do have, it says intercom functionality. Obviously, that will always be there because it's just a SIP call. I do believe that on these devices, I think the 1600 and 1700 series specifically, you do also have the ability to press a button to let somebody in. I believe that's coming on our deck phones as well, the ability to actually let somebody in from the device. But yeah, so this slide really, in my opinion, shows the true power of this device. Obviously, it's a great security device on its own, but when you team it up with the solutions that most businesses already have, these great Grandstream phones, it gives you the ability to do so much more and more efficiently, more proactively manage your office, your building, get alerts, let visitors in, control full access to any building, to any door, to any room, etc. So just to give you a picture of it, this is a screenshot from our GXP 3275, which you can see had somebody from the GDS 3710 triggered a call to this device, which can be done by pressing the doorbell, by entering a PIN code, or by motion detection, and then you would obviously go in through the GDS web user interface, pretty much set it up as to when somebody enters in a PIN code, what extension does it call, who does it call, when motion is detected, who is it call, etc., etc. And then you see on the left there, it's a little button just to tap and actually open the door from this video phone. This is our 3275 and 3240. This is what I was talking about earlier, when we move over to the 2100 series. They're not video phones, but it gives you what I'll call a video snapshot here, where that picture will refresh every 1 or 2 seconds to more or less give you a video. But it adds the audio component, and then as you see down there, there's a soft key right below the phone to actually allow you to open the door right by pressing a button on your GXP 2100 series phone. Just to tie in with some of our other solutions, we also provide 2 different network video recorders. It's the GVR 3552 and the GVR 3550. Fully compatible, obviously, not just with our GDS 3710, but with pretty much any IP camera out there, specifically Grandstream IP cameras. So this, you're going to have GDS Manager, and you have the whole interface for the GDS. These NVRs are great for having a separate, dedicated recording space where you're not tying up other PCs on your network, where you're not, dedicated recording basically, and that's really the advantage of these devices. The 3552 gives you 4 terabytes, the 3550 gives you 16 terabytes, giving you the ability to record video feeds, actually view live video feeds through the NVR interface the same way you can through the GDS interface as well. So there you go. For backup and recording, we have these 2 NVRs. All right, so I'm going to wrap up here over the next, we'll probably say 7 to 10 minutes by kind of bringing this discussion full circle and talking about some deployment scenarios. These 4 deployment scenarios, I believe, kind of cover all ends of the spectrum. Well, you've got residential, you've got small to medium-sized business, which is traditionally an office setting. Then we'll go to a multi-building complex, and then you have a multi-location company that has different physical offices in different physical geographic locations. And the goal here is to really kind of tie everything together and show you a fully integrated solution with the GDS working with Grandstream solutions. All right, I guess we kind of covered this earlier. I thought this slide was earlier in the presentation, but in terms of installation, I guess before we go into the deployment scenarios, 2 ways to install it. Wall surface mounting, which is what it offers by default. It gives you everything in the box that you need to set that up. We also sell the in-wall mount, which is what you see here on the screen. Allows you to basically mount the device in the wall, and then it comes with this little flush mount to pretty much smooth the surface of it with the wall, which is available for separate purchase. Yeah, so, this is, I guess we're starting real basic here with the deployment scenarios. You're going to need to integrate it with your network, to really bring out the full integrated solution of using it with our IP phones, for example, in which you're, more likely than not, it's going to be connected to a PoE switch, which will go back into either your hosted platform or your on-premise IP PBX that way. So this example here kind of gives you a full solution deployment example of pretty much showing you everything that the device could do before we go into specifically how we see it being best used for specific verticals. So yeah, what you can see here is it's pretty much integrated with all ends of the network. It is registered as an extension on that network. As an extension, the example here is on our UCM series of IP PBXs. Could also be obviously on any other hosted provider or other IP PBX. Gives you the ability to communicate directly with devices on that network. Gives you the ability to integrate alarm in and alarm out, maybe things you already have or things you might want to add in the future. Gives you the ability in the bottom right there to manage the entire platform, track, manage, record, make changes using GDS Manager on a computer, which can be on or off the network, and then having a GVR to record all of it. And as we mentioned there, and actually as I have not touched on really that in-depthly, our GDS 3710 is fully compatible with Grandstream Wave, which is our free soft phone app, which does have the ability to make, it gives you the ability to make and receive SIP calls on any mobile device using any SIP account. It does support video, so basically with using Grandstream Wave and configuring an extension on Grandstream Wave with the GDS, you can track, manage, record, and let people in and view, have intercom conversations, be alerted when somebody arrives from basically anywhere in the world that you can get an internet connection through Grandstream Wave. All right, so we'll start off here with a residential deployment. We actually have seen a lot of these types of devices being used heavily in residential areas, especially in city environments specifically, where security is a little bit more of a concern. So you would have a GDS 3710 at the front door, integrated through a static IP connection. I guess the example we're showing you here is installed outdoors. You're going to have your, cordless phones or deck phones, for example, or video phones, or what have you, throughout the house, where you can actually then have the device. When somebody shows up, trigger a voice or video call to any of those devices. Obviously, as I just mentioned, you can use Grandstream Wave, our mobile app, to also basically turn this into a mobile facility access, almost something like a ring.com, where you could be notified anywhere on any device that has an internet connection through Grandstream Wave, as well as the local devices as well. And then also with this whole solution, you can get integrate surveillance as well. Put in a network video recorder, which the surveillance cameras and the GDS would all record back to. and also give you the ability to have, security alarms or any security event that's triggered by any of the cameras go back and notify the GDS or the other phones on the network, which will notify you. A little bit of a residential deployment in terms of a small to medium-sized business. We'll call this an office deployment. It all basically starts with the UCM series of IP PBXs, at least as far as we're concerned. In this case, that's kind of be the anchor to your solution. You can integrate our GWN series of routers and access points with that device to, give an IP address and create networks, to get IP addresses from the UCM to create access points and networks for your office, which is also going to, as you see over there on the left, your GDS would just be registered as an extension on that UCM so that you can basically customize it as you want to trigger calls from the GDS to any devices or extensions that you want, while also setting up recording, while also integrating, surveillance cameras in other locations that can sound alarms to the GDS, or basically notify the GDS or phones on the network when something happens. And as we talked about, GDS Manager to kind of manage all your access to your facility, pretty much all of the activity that I just mentioned. Multi-building complexes, here is, I guess it's really not that much different than anything that I just described. Here you're just adding multiple GDSs at multiple locations and multiple buildings, maybe multiple floors, multiple entrances, with one centralized GDS manager being able to monitor, track, and basically record all of those buildings from one central location. While also being able to, you can really customize a deployment like this to be able to trigger calls to any extension in any building from any device, just about. And then we'll wrap up here with the multi-location office. The thing here is obviously this really gives you kind of what I just spoke to, the power of being able to monitor multiple or use GDS Manager and the GDS interface to monitor, track, and record access to any facility pretty much anywhere in the world to physical different locations. And the best way to do this, at least as far as we're concerned, is to create a VPN connection between the two offices, have a UCM or two different UCMs peer together through that VPN connection, and then just register the GDSs in each location as an extension on that network, and therefore through that VPN you can communicate from one office to the other. You can, from one office, monitor the GDS activity from another office, vice versa, and you can set up a centralized recording solution in one of the offices to record all of that, whether it be through GDS Manager or also recording any of your surveillance camera feeds through any of our network video recorders. All right, so I think, that is the last slide that I have here for you today. Just again, the major takeaway, this is a really powerful IP video door station that on its own gives you the ability to track, manage, and record access to any facility, gives you the ability to, using that GDS Manager software, to centrally monitor, track, and manage activity for multiple GDSs in multiple different locations, but to really take it to the next level, and something that we offer that really no other manufacturer is able to offer, because we're one of the few companies that actually makes the wide range of SIP solutions that we do, is that installing a GDS and integrating it with other Grandstream solutions allows you to get so much more out of it. It allows you to expand the functionality of the GDS to really very easily and proactively monitor, track, and manage access to facilities using the existing IP phones that you already, in most cases, already have, or that you're going to be looking to add at the same time. So that's pretty much all I had to cover here today. I'll turn it back over to Julie. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll take any questions.
Phil, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. And yes, it looks like we've got some questions for you. Starting off here, is the GDS 3710 available now or soon?
It is available now. I believe we announced the product, I want to say probably in April. There was definitely a couple of weeks to a month there afterwards where it was not available just because it was being shipped out to everyone. But yeah, it should be fully available at the moment.
Terrific, thank you. Next question, I know you talked about the phones that are compatible with this. You went into some details about that, but would that include all your Grandstream phones?
Yeah, so actually there's kind of two things that I want to say there. Yes, it does. All of our phones, we have optimized through the firmware for every single Grandstream phone the ability to integrate with that device, whether it be for most of the devices, so for our Android IP video phones and for the 2100s, that is basically full voice and video intercom and soft keys right there that you don't even have to set up on these phones that would allow you to press a button to open the door on the GDS. Our GXP 1700s and GXP 1600s give you the intercom functionality, and I believe we have since added the ability to also open doors on those devices with the GDS. And if this is not available on those devices, it will be very soon. With our DEC phones, it allows you to have the intercom conversation, and very soon, I believe the next firmware update for those products, you will also be able to open doors from those DEC phones, which will be great, frankly, for warehouses or for anyone, because you can basically put that phone on your belt and carry it around. Another thing that I do want to say on this, which I did want to say earlier and I didn't get to it, so it is a SIP device. It will be compatible with other SIP phones as well, not just Grandstream SIP phones. The true innovation that we have done, and the reason why our devices are probably they're more optimized to use with this because of the door opening features that I talked about, which are built right in. You don't even have to configure it on those phones. If you have, I believe, a certain firmware version, which has been out for at least a couple of months now, so most people are probably on it, that will happen seamlessly and you don't even have to set it up. So we do, it's a SIP device. It'll pretty much work with any other SIP device. However, we have optimized our products to be able to seamlessly offer additional features and functions like opening the door for using with the GDS.
Thank you for that very much, Phil. Next question regarding security systems. Will this product be integrated with your existing or future devices?
Yeah, absolutely. Fully compatible. I mean, everything we make is a SIP device, so it will be compatible with any camera, any future GDS. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we're in the process of coming out with an audio door phone only that will be able to be added and integrate with the current GDS that we have and manage using the same software, the same as any of our other cameras. Actually, one thing that kind of led me to think about, which I didn't mention earlier, if you go to the GDS 3710 section of our website, click datasheets. There is a datasheet there called accessories datasheet. So in addition to the mount that I mentioned earlier, and the RFID cards and the RFID fobs that we can sell you in bulk in addition. We also have basically a USB RFID card accessory that we sell separately, which can allow you to basically put just a RFID card sensor at any door without having to put an entire door camera there. You would integrate that with your network, and it would feed all the information back to the central GDS. So that's another product that we have that works with this device in case you want to have a main one set up centrally and then just have a couple of smaller ones without cameras or intercoms at other buildings. We do offer an accessory to do that. But to answer the original question, yes, it will be compatible with any future devices that we make or anything we have out now.
Thank you very much, Phil. Can you tell us about the warranty on this product?
Can I tell you about the warranty? I think that question might actually be better off for probably potentially somebody at Microcom. The reason I say that is like I know the manufacturer's warranty that we offer, which I believe is a year on this product. Sometimes that will, potentially Microcom might offer something in addition or on top of that. Maybe they don't. But just off the bat, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, that this product has at least a 1-year manufacturer's warranty, because I believe every product we make has at least a 1-year manufacturer's warranty.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Can you tell us about where this product is manufactured?
Yeah, just so, the answer there is just like everything we make, all of our manufacturing is over in China. The 2 cities specifically are Shenzhen and Hangzhou. Frankly, those 2 cities, Shenzhen specifically, are where a lot of our competitors and a lot of other companies in this industry manufacture their products. As we all know, a lot of the pieces that go into manufacturing products are made in China, which is why most companies, in today's day and age, especially in our industry, will manufacture everything in China. So all of our products, not just this, are manufactured in China.
Thank you, Phil. And I think I've got one last question for you. Does Grandstream handle customer service or tech support? Should anyone have any issues in these areas?
Yeah, so the way that we do it in North America is we do offer tech support. We primarily only offer it to certified resellers. We basically, if you are a Grandstream certified reseller, I believe in North America we guarantee you a 2-hour callback or response time. If it's an end user, there are options through our help desk system, which you can go and post tickets online. However, for end users, we're traditionally going to refer them back to their reseller or back to the distributor where it was bought. But we do offer direct tech support primarily for resellers, and if you are a Grandstream reseller, you do get a 2-hour guaranteed response time here in North America.
Phil, thank you very much for answering those questions. We enjoyed the presentation very much. And also thanks to everyone for attending today. And if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And please also remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so it can be viewed again. Thanks again, Phil, and everybody have a fantastic day.